They in Los Angeles County, they elected a he's a mini Trump, a district attorney who wants to lock up Black children. That's why I was at this Free Our Youth rally. It's not coincidental that we had the rally the day after the election. But they're spending an approximate $800,000 per year to lock children up in prison. $800,000 a year per kid. I'm not saying overall. I'm saying $800,000 per kid. When you break down the youth incarceration budget, it amounts to $800,000 per year per kid. What could we do if we were willing to invest even a fraction of that in our young people? So this morning, and today, where I am is that the answer and the solution is what it has always been, that Black people and oppressed people have to organize, and in the words of Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, build our own power, build our own power.
Absolutely. And Dr. Abdullah, that was wonderfully, powerfully said. Doc, did you notice that there was some folks, and I said, oh my goodness, our people are so disconnected, because there were some folks like Dr. Ma'at, we only hear from you all African-centered or pro-Blacks when it's election time. And I said, you just so disconnected. I said, we talk politics every day, all day. I said, revolutionary work is a lifestyle. It's not, as Bob always says, it's not an event. This is a lifestyle. This is what we do day in, day out. And so a lot of people are very, very ignorant of grassroots people, of grassroots organization, very disconnected. And so I guess my question, Dr. Abdullah, and peace to Baba Amin, who just joined us, how can we, I guess, get the word out or raise the because a lot of our people don't know. They think that we're just like, they don't know of a Dr. Abdullah or a Baba Amin or a Dr. Ma'at, and so how do we bridge the gap? Because there are a lot of our people who are disconnected from grassroots people and grassroots organizations. So what can we do, I guess, to raise, awareness of things that are happening inside of our community?
Well, I think you're doing it. Part of this platform is doing it. And I'm so, so grateful. One of the greatest blessings of this run has been connecting with people on deeper levels. So being connected with you is a tremendous blessing, Being not only
Likewise.
influenced by, but connecting on a really deep level with Dr. Boyce Watkins has been a tremendous blessing. The way in which communities have come together is a tremendous blessing. Even when I think about, the reparations work, there were some divisions that you and probably the people who are tuned in know about, like within the reparations community. And what we've seen with the betrayal of elected officials, of Black people, is reparationists across organizations coming together. What a tremendous blessing. So I think the answer is using everything that we have, the drowning out of voices like mine. And we used to see Cornel West on mainstream media
All the
very
time.
regularly. And it was only after his run that he was silenced, right? He used to be on, I want to cuss, but he used to be on Bill Maher all the time. He was
Yes.
like Bill Maher's Black friend, right? He used to be on CNN all the
All
time.
the time. He was. He really
And
was.
what we saw is the deliberate drowning out of voices like Dr. West. If you were to believe mainstream media, you would think Black Lives Matter, the real Black Lives Matter, which is Black Lives Matter grassroots. You would think it's a thing of the past, but we still rallying. We are 39 chapters strong. And as we prepare for our onboarding for the next year, we have 23 chapters that have applied to join us. So we're 39 chapters, but 23 other formations have asked, can they join us in 2025? And
Beautiful.
so this is incredible work that's happening and having an impact. We just saw one of the killers of Breonna Taylor be found guilty. Brett Hankinson was found guilty on Friday. We just saw the killer of Frank Tyson in Canton, Ohio, arrested and charged. So the work is moving. And so we have to remember that these mainstream outlets that try to act like we don't exist and try to drown out our power are deliberately doing so because they want to maintain power for themselves. So, three things that we have to do: we have to use our voices, which is what your platform is. And all of us have platforms, right? All of
Mhm.
us, even if it's your own social media. My mama, who's in her 70s, she was posting on Facebook and put her first Instagram post up ever. Grandma Zeely put up her first Instagram post ever yesterday that said, "I'm voting for Cornell West," right? So
Beautiful.
use our voices. Two, have to put our bodies on the line. So when we say come out and rally, come out and organize, and Black Lives Matter Grassroots is doing both. We have an organizing meeting on Sunday to talk about what we do in the aftermath of these elections. That don't wait for a personal invitation. When you see movement growing, come and join and be a body in that movement. We need as many bodies as possible. And then lastly, we need resources. So, Kamala Harris was able to raise $1 billion in a month.
Come on, come on, come on. You
In
better
a
talk
month.
about it, Doc.
Look, for real, we got to write checks, y'all. We got to write checks. We got to pay for, when we're talking about, I'm in the car and I didn't ask him if it's okay to out him, but I'll look at you. You okay, Billion, being outed? Okay. So my brother Billion, who is my comrade in virtually all things and
Ashay.
does so much work on the ground, right? So much work on the ground, housing our people, moving police out of what we claim as Africa Town in Los Angeles. These are regular folks who are sometimes housing insecure themselves. They don't get grants because they dare to go up against politicians who betray our community. These same politicians who try to pull them to the side and say, "I'll write you a check if you roll with us." And they refuse those checks. So, who has to finance them? We do. We
Mm.
have to say, what does Africa Town need? We have to say, if you're providing our security, we're not asking you to donate it. We're going to pay you to do it, right? If you're helping us to say public safety is not tied to police, then we have to build public safety systems where people can actually make a living doing the vital work in communities. And so we have to fund our own movements. And, that includes donating to platforms like yours and building independent parties like the Justice for All Party, which Dr. West and I are working on building.
No, absolutely, Doc. Because, like you say, you had a lot black men and black women got online and raised millions of dollars like this,
Billions.
billions,
It's
billions.
billions.
Look, look, look,
That's
look,
crazy.
look, Doc.
Yes.
We go just like that. And
Right.
so we can do that for a presidential campaign. Surely we can do that to build, to fix and build our communities. You know what I mean, Doc?
That's
But we
right.
have to have the consciousness to do so. And that's where African-centered education, Bob, I mean, comes into play. We have to have the consciousness to do so. We have to have the values, the morals, and the drive to do so. My aunt and I, we literally were just having a conversation about this earlier today. She said, we raising all these billions of dollars and we got all these millionaires and look at our community. She said, I'm watching documentaries on how millionaires will go back to their old neighborhood and the neighborhood is falling apart. So you didn't take your millions and go fix your neighborhood. You took your millions and you left. And so if we got online and we could raise billions for Kamala's campaign, surely we can raise billions to support grassroots people, grassroots organizations, and to build our communities. Dr. Abdullah, thank you so much for weighing in. I know you're just coming from your rally, but I'm so glad that you were able to hop on. I was texting her this morning, family, like Dr. Abdullah, because I know how she is. She's all over the place. Dr. Abdullah, I'm going live. So can you just come on in for a little bit? She said, I got you. Just let me know. And you hopped on. So thank you so much for that, Dr.
Absolutely.
Abdullah. And you had
Appreciate you so much, sis.
I appreciate
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and you have my support, my
Thank
consistent
you.
support.
Thank you. Appreciate your work too, brother.
Peace. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah. Appreciate you as well. You and Dr. West, y'all ran a great race. Y'all doing a great job of putting these topics and discussions on the table. I was I'm in South Carolina. You all were on the ticket, and I'm a proud supporter. I don't usually tell people how I voted, but I voted for West Abdullah.
I did
Very
too.
proud of that. And I understand that you grow movements, and I'm excited to be a part of the growth of a new movement and a movement
Thank
that's
you.
been here, but I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you for all that you do.
What an honor. Thank you so much. Thank you. Talk to
Thank
y'all
you.
soon.
All right,
Absolutely.
Doc. Peace and love to you. That's my girl right there, family.
Powerful
She
sister.
has, and she there. That's my girl right there, man. And she has my support. She has my support.
Yeah.
I already knew where I was voting. You know what I mean, Bible. But
Right.
I had to present the options. I didn't want to
Well,
sway the,
absolutely.
yeah, I didn't want to
Absolutely.
sway the community. But you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
I
That's
already knew,
that's
man.
the
They
thing
come on
to
now,
do.
all black ticket who
Mhm.
espouse the same values and
Right.
morals that
Right.
I do, the same vision that I have. Of course, I was going to vote Weston Abdullah. Of course, that was going to be the thing. But Bible, we got to develop the consciousness,
Mhm.
you know, because a lot of our people, they we want them to move one way, but remember, behavior follows thought. So we
Right.
have to get you thinking a certain type of way, right? If
Right.
we want you to move a certain type of way. And that starts with developing your consciousness. So, Baba, could you talk about how African centered education or Black centered education plays a part in molding the consciousness, right? So us to move for us to move in the best interest of ourselves, how African centered education is a vehicle to do just that.
And not just for youth but adults as well. And
Mm,
African centered education is centered around, you know what I'm saying, our experiences as African people or people of African descent. In our approach at the Uhuru Academy, you know, it starts with the self, right?
mhm,
You have
mhm,
to love self. The first thing we do is we empower our children to have a voice. What's your opinion? That's why we do creative writing every morning. What's your opinion? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Then we spend time imparting African wisdom with our children. You know, we use African proverbs, like today's proverb was, "He who fears the sun will not become chief." Right? Right.
mm,
He who fears the son will not become chief. If you fear success, if you fear stepping out there, if you fear the work that it takes to get where you need to go, you won't get the desired outcome, right? And in terms of this election, right, when we start talking about organizing locally, right, building locally up, when we start talking about supporting grassroots efforts, and we start talking about paying attention to your local government and your state government, we fear that part. That's why we won't become chief. We don't want to talk about politics. Oh, I'll
mhm,
boy
mhm.
talking about politics. Well, maybe that's why we don't understand them,
Right. That
because
part.
we're scared to talk about it. We're, you know, in African centered education, we take that fear away, and we're raising our children to be engaged in these discussions, not from a victim standpoint either. And I'm gonna take my glasses off a little bit, but not from a victim standpoint, but from a manifesting standpoint, right?
Mm,
Of
mm,
what do you want to be, or what type of world do you want to see? It's not enough to say, I don't want racism. Okay, what do you want? And how do we build it? What
mhm,
do you want to do? Right. And the fallacy with the Democratic strategy and with our strategy as a community is that we're running on what we don't want to happen. Oh, we got to stop Trump. But what do we want to start? We got to stop Project 2025. Well, what project do we want to start? Right? And so African centered education does not allow for our students, our children, youth, and adults to begin the conversation with what somebody else is doing to them or
mm,
what somebody else is doing for them. We begin the conversation at what are we doing for ourselves? What have we done for ourselves? And how do we build on that legacy? We operate with the attitude that there's nothing wrong with us, that what's right with us can't fix. And we got hundreds of thousands of years of documented proof of what's right with us. So
that's
we
right.
build our curriculum on that.
Come on, Baba.
And once you operate from that, once your mind state is centered around our needs, our wants, based on our legacy and being realistic about our current condition, then you can't be fooled by brown faces in traditional white spaces. You don't get Jackie Robinson syndrome. At the Uhuru Academy, when we learn about Jackie Robinson, we learn about it as an attack on the Negro Leagues, not as a progress on race relations in America. We don't get mad at Jackie. We just know Jackie's being used because you have a multi-million-dollar black-owned business over here called the Negro Leagues that's starting to gain some momentum, right? Sell tickets. Black people had this hidden economy that white folks didn't know about. And so the machines say, we want some of that. And so they pseudo integrate. They didn't bring over the black teams. They didn't bring over the black coaches. They didn't
No.
bring over the black stadiums and the vendors. No, they brought one black player
Mhm.
and centered the whole story of baseball around that one black player and froze the rest of the community out. And
That's what
that's
happened.
how black people feel during election season. We're celebrating Jackie Robinson, in this case, Kamala, and everybody else feels what? Frozen out,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because that's an agenda. You're not taking us with you. We
Mm-hmm.
not coming with you. You gonna be in there. Hey, Jackie, and now we got to steal tickets or sneak into the stadium and try to get a peek at you.
Hey, Baba, look, and let me ask you this. What's your thoughts? And I asked about Dr. Abdullah this as well. What are your thoughts about people running around today like, we're doomed? We're doomed. The country is over. And I want to hear your thoughts, and I'm going to share mine. But, Baba, what's your thoughts on that? Everybody just think that we're just doomed because Trump is in office.
Media,
Mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
were taught to be doomed. The people are they've been victimized, because when they said vote for Kamala, they didn't say vote for Kamala because she has a great strategy for your community, or vote this way. They said vote because if you don't, we're doomed. If Trump don't get in there, oh, we going back 50 years. Oh, we doomed. So people go, we doomed. My question is, how doomed? When is doom coming? What is doom gonna look like? So you got to give me specific doom talking points. You can't just tell me I'm doomed. Doomed to where? Or are we running out of shoes first? Is the water gonna go? You got to. If you can't give me my specific doom, I'm not trying to. That emotional blanket doom, I don't do blanket doom.
Right, blanket
Yeah,
doom.
yeah. You got to tell. You got to explain the stages of doom to me. So it's fear because you've been taught to fear. You've been, what I'm saying. Now we don't fear diabetes. Like a lot of people eating a candy bar right now, sugar 400. Man, we doomed. It's over.
Baba, Baba, I ain't fooling with you. And
You
I
know?
just, and this is what I said to someone who slid in my inbox and said we're doomed. I said, yeah, I said they say that every election cycle. If you don't vote for this candidate, then then you're doomed. That's the propaganda
Right.
that is pushed every election cycle, right? It was pushed, in 2020. It was pushed in 2016. I said we hear that every election cycle. I said, let me tell you what would make us doomed. I said, if we're doomed, it's because we haven't figured out how to play the game of power. That is what will make us doomed. We haven't learned how to play the game of power. Even though Dr. Amos Wilson wrote an 868-page book about the blueprint for Black Power, we really haven't learned that game yet. And that is what will make us doomed, not understanding power, what it is, and how to get it. But let me say this to you, Baba. I knew Trump was going to win from jump. And let me tell you why I knew this. And I said this in my family group chat because I remember my mother when Kamala, was when we were informed that she was running. My mother went to all of the family group chats because it's multiple group chats. She went to all the family group chats and she said, "Breaking news: Kamala's running." And I responded with, "She's not going to get in." And oh my gosh, Bob, I mean, the family was like, "What? What do you mean?" A lot of people like her, and a lot of people, and that's what made me realize. I said, "Damn it, my own family don't realize where we are." And Dr. Abdullah hit the hammer on the nail. We live in this is a white nation, a white patriarchal nation. And so if they didn't let Hillary Clinton, if they didn't let Hillary, a white woman, get in office, right? And what was that, 2016? If they didn't let Hillary get in, you thought they were going to put a woman of color in there? They didn't even put a white woman in there. So you think 8 years later they're going to put a woman of color in there? They didn't care about him being a felon. They didn't care about grabbing by the peas. They didn't care about any of the things he said. They wanted a white man in office, and they came out in droves, Baba.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's look at the data, Baba. Let's just look at the data by race. Let's look at the data by race. Everybody think Dr. Ma'at making it up. No, I already knew. I'm like, do you know where we are, man? Do you know where we are? Look at this. White men voted 60% Donald Trump. 37% of them voted Kamala. Look at white women. More than half of white women voted for Trump. They did the same thing with Hillary, by the way. They voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Look at this right here. Black men, 77% of black men voted for Kamala, even though people were saying she's losing black male support. She lost some, but she didn't lose a lot. 77% of the brothers went out, voted
Right.
for Kamala. But then you had that 21%, Baba, that voted for Trump, 21% of black men. And all I'm saying is, man, when that police get that immunity, don't be coming calling now. When
Yeah.
he give the police.
You gotta convince me that they didn't already have it.
Well, that's true too. That's true too, Baba. So look at this. Black women, 91% of black women voted for Kamala, 7% voted for Trump. You know, black women were going for Kamala all the way. They came out. We came out. Latino men, look at this.
Mhm.
More than half of the Latino men. So despite the comedian, remember that comedian at
Uh-huh.
Madison
Yeah.
Square Garden that said their island was trash floating on
Mhm.
water, they
Mhm.
still went out, and then more than half of the Latino men voted for him. The Latino women, 60% of them voted for Kamala, while 38% of them voted for Trump. And then look at this. It says other races voted, 48%. It seemed like other races was kind of like half and half. Seemed
Right.
like kind of half and half, Baba. But yeah, I already knew Baba. I said he's going to
Yeah.
get in there. Oh,
Yeah.
why are you saying that? You being pessimistic, you being negative. No, I knew he was going to get in there. Wait, do you know where we
Yeah.
are? Do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know America? Do you know what America is? And
Right.
once you understand what America is, you won't be surprised by
Mhm.
any of the things you see and hear.
Mhm.
Once you understand.
Yeah, I think people need to understand that the markets want him in there, because the stock market went crazy this morning, right? That the volatility on the market is a good thing for capitalists, you know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
the markets want him in there. The media wants him in there. Who ain't gonna watch the news every night while Trump is president? Who's not?
Mhm.
He's must see TV. He's a media darling. They want him in there, right? And so the odds are there, right? That's going to happen. A lot of things that presidents do are ceremonial anyway. America's a corporation,
Come on.
and so he's not King Trump, he's President Trump, right? And again, we need more political education beyond the ballot box, right? And that's the key. And when we understand that politics doesn't start with voting, then we won't be in such a panic, right? And sometimes when you got a wild card in office, if you're traditionally marginalized people, that actually could work to your advantage, because you may have both enemies getting mad at each other. That's room for you to move.
Right.
That's room for you to create
Absolutely.
leverage. When you got one oppressor or exploiter that's mad at the other exploiter, sit in the middle like the Asian community and say, yeah, I'm gonna write a check for both of y'all. Just whoever get in, leave me alone.
Right. That part, Bob. That part.
We have to detach ourselves from one
Yes.
side or the other and kind of be our own side as a voting bloc, as a community, and again, we talk about us like we're a people when it's time to vote, and we talk about we're doomed. But what about integration when it became the thing to get a good job and move out of the black community? Did we not doom the community when that happened?
Absolutely.
I watched my community experience doom. I've experienced doom in my lifetime. I watched my neighborhood turn from a place where you can leave the screen door open at night to a place where you had to have double locks on your doors and extra pistols in your house because a person who you used to love is now crawling in your house, stealing all of your TVs
Mm,
from the crack cocaine epidemic. We've experienced doom before in this country as a people. So,
come
like I
on.
say, you got to describe which doom is about to come.
Right. What do
You
you
know,
mean by that?
yeah, and how we're going to participate in our doom. We do participate in our own demise, but it's not at the ballot box.
That
You
part.
voting today, wherever you spend your money, you're casting a vote. However you spend your time, you're casting a vote.
Bob, I'm glad you're saying that, Bob, because look, the same people who say they don't support Trump, they buy products every day, like you said, Baba, of people that support Trump.
Yeah,
A lot of the NFL owners are Trump supporters, but
yes,
that
they
doesn't
are.
stop people from turning on the TV, watching the NFL, and buying tickets and going to.
Church.
We literally, and I think you and I had a conversation about this, how we finance our own oppression. We,
Hmm.
we literally finance our own. We'll say, I don't believe in Trump. I don't support him. But then you go out here and you buy products and services from people who do support him.
Right.
I
So
mean, bottom line.
yeah. So how horrified are you really? Right.
Right.
You're not scared enough to find out every way that you're supporting your own demise. Like you ain't that scared. You're not so scared that you want to figure out where your money's going, who donated to the campaign. Let's get revenge on all the companies that helped put him in office. Come on, y'all, let's go.
They're not going to do it, Baba.
Huh?
Everybody just talking. They ain't going to do it.
Let's divest then. Then leave me alone. If there's not, it ain't gonna be no direct action. Leave me alone. But you just want me to sit back and be defeated,
right?
You know, we doomed this. Oh, no. But who did the Waltons support? Who did the Waltons? Right. I ain't going to Walmart if the Waltons gave money. Y'all, it's public information.
It is public information. Right. And like Elon Musk, I mean, I guarantee you, people are still going to be buying Teslas, Baba. Oh no, people are still going to be buying. They're going to still be buying Teslas.
I better not see nobody who anti-Trump with a Tesla.
Yeah, they're still gonna be riding around in Teslas, even though Elon
had a conversation with me. You know, that's surface stuff. Where you putting your money? Where you putting your children? You're sending your children back to the public school. You're not going down there to fight for more representation in the curriculum. You're not gonna do that. You're taking whatever they give you, and we're not even exercising the power that we do have. We're not suffering from someone taking our power. We're suffering from not exercising power that we had.
There you go. That part, Papa.
I was jealous of the MAGA people in Fort Worth when my friend called me and say, man, all these Trump people are in here and they stopped the whole meeting and they making them take all the money out of all the programs for the Hispanic kids, all the programs for the black kids. They making them stop it. They all like for just one community. It ain't fair that they doing that. I'm like, well, how many black people down there counter arguing? If they bring 50, we bring 50. I bet you our 50 will beat they 50. But you can't get 50 to come fight for black people. You want to go home and call it racism when you didn't even fight. It's only racism when both of y'all present an equal case and then they go with them just because they white. And you can prove it. But if they brought a fight and you didn't step up to fight, you can't say that you were discriminated against. You didn't fight. You didn't show up.
You didn't show up. You didn't show up.
And Baba, understand the difference.
And Baba, check this out. I had a conversation earlier with someone about this. I said, what we saw or what we've witnessing is a display of white male supremacy. If he was a brother trying to run, if Trump was a brother, right, running, first of all, he wouldn't have been able to run as a convicted felon, right? You got black and brown people who are convicted felons who cannot vote, who do not qualify for certain loans, who cannot live in certain neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
Because of felonies, right? Because of felonies. He was able to, he had charges. He was convicted of some of those charges. He's a convicted felon, but yet he was able to run for the highest office of the land and win. I said, this was a display of white male supremacy. This was a display of that because I started thinking about the book, The New Jim Crow by Dr. Michelle Alexander. And in that book, she argued that criminal records do not hurt white people. She said criminal records hurt black and brown people. She said they don't hurt white people. And this, I'm talking about what we just saw proved her 1,000% correct. What are your thoughts on that, Baba? Do you think this was a display of white male supremacy?
Well, I will say white male power and hegemony. Okay. You know, definitely white male power. I'm not in the habit of calling them
supremacy. I got you. I got you, Baba.
Definitely of power, definitely of privilege. But it also shows though that if you can swing the pendulum, if you can make the money move, the rules don't apply to you. You know what I'm saying? If you can make the right powerful people more powerful, you know what I'm saying? Then they'll circumvent the rules for you all day, you know? And I mean, even look at how some powerful black celebrities get away with things for years until they piss the wrong powerful people off. Next thing you know, somebody open up a file on them and they're in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? And so decisions aren't made based on justice. That's for the oppressed. That's for the masses. That's propaganda. Right? Hell, I used to work for a company called YAP, Youth Advocates Programs, right? They fired me back in 1998 because of a discrepancy on my paperwork. I ain't commit no crime, a discrepancy. If I apply tomorrow, they still won't hire me. They don't forgive. I can't get that job back. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have people with misdemeanors that can't get jobs. There's certain misdemeanors that'll disqualify you from certain jobs. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I've also been in situations where I've gotten jobs, Dr. Ma'at, that required bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. I ain't had none of it. I just knew somebody that made a decision, right? And so sometimes when you know people that make certain decisions, then you can the rules will be circumvented. We have to do a better job of putting ourselves in positions where we can make executive decisions.
Come on, that part.
You can
That
hire
part.
a felon all you want to. If you own the job, you own the company, you can hire somebody that's a felon. If your cousin caught a felony, you know your cousin a good person, and you own a construction company, ain't nothing stop you from hiring your cousin.
Come on, Baba. We did that. Shout out to my family. I'm thinking about my aunt and my mama. And then we started a cleaning business in '08. And we
Right.
hired a lot of brothers that came out who had felonies. You know what I
Right,
mean, Baba?
right. Yeah. So the issue with us not being able to get back on our feet after having trouble, we're too job oriented. We're not putting ourselves in positions to where we can circumvent that stuff.
That part, Baba.
We
That
need to
part,
open
Baba.
more businesses. We need to own more. Y'all come on back. Black bourgeoisie, y'all mad. Get mad at them folks and move on back to the hood. Let's rebuild it. Let's make it safe. Let's build some new black communities. Y'all come on home. Who want to be extra black today? Come on. We got y'all. We got y'all. But shout out to my brother Rutaski at the House of Hathor. He said he doing a sale on dashikis this week. Come on, man. Y'all come on and get a dashiki and change your African name and show Trump, you know what I'm saying, what it's all about. Let's go pro black. We always hiring in the movement. Y'all
Hey,
come on in.
hey, Baba, look, and then what do you actually think hurt Kamala? Somebody in the chat, and shout out to Sister Mika One. She's like, y'all ain't vote for her. What do you think? And Dr. Abdullah did touch on some of the things that she felt like hurt Kamala. Like, for example, when she said, I'm not doing anything to specific, I'm not doing anything specifically, for black people, even though she's done specific things for other groups of people. The fact that she won't call what's going on in Gaza, in Palestine, a genocide, right? She doesn't, she doesn't want to say that. And a matter of fact, she does just the opposite. She keeps pledging her allegiance to Israel every chance that she gets. And I've watched a lot of her interviews, and she makes sure that she says, I stand with Israel, but then she'll give that caveat like, yeah, they have a right to defend themselves, but it's a matter of how I do care about how, she kind of throws that in there, but she makes it clear and she says it every chance that she gets that she stands with Israel. And so, those things hurt her. I also think, in addition to what she said regarding reparations in Israel, another thing that hurt her was she could not criticize Biden for anything. It was kind of like when in her interviews, when they say, well, the borders, we saw an influx of immigrants in 2022 and 2023. Do you think you all should have did something different?
Right.
And she's like, no, we did what we were supposed to do. Like, she stood 10 toes down on what the administration has done over the course of 3.5 years that they've been in office, right? And so I think that also hurt her, that she could not criticize some of the poor decisions that they did make, and I think that hurt her as well. And I also agree with Dr. Abdullah that, having a lot of celebrities, come out and endorse you. And Trump did the same thing. Let's not get it twisted. He did the same thing. Celebrity endorsement, that didn't really help her. Some of these ratchet folks, you had Meg the Stallion, Glorilla, Ratchet Red, and all of them coming out, Cardi Bird, all of them coming out. Like, I don't think that was the answer either. But what do you think hurt her, Baba, in your opinion?
I think part of it with the Democratic Party right now, especially on the national stage or whatever, when who controls you is not on the same page as who supports you, you're going to have trouble with your messaging. So you're controlled by the Israel lobby, but you're also the party that's babysitting the liberals and the progressives. So now the people who control you are in a direct odds with a key piece of your voter base. They've been able to get away with seeming like they're liberals, but Democrats do not look liberal anymore. That was the liberal party. Now they look just as conservative as the Republicans. And when the conservative candidate can say, I'm stopping all wars, but you can't say that.
Right. She couldn't say that. Right.
You can't say that out your mouth. Even if he's lying, he can say it, because his funding, he's not just relying on a lobby to fund him. So her hands were tied from the jump. I could be black, but I can't be too black, because the people who control me are different than the people who support me. She probably should have talked less to black people and spoke more to white people.
She played identity, that identity. So you're saying playing identity politics hurt her butt too?
Yeah, it hurt her.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It hurt her a lot, because you're not winning. You're talking to somebody who's gonna be in bed with you anyway. why are you pandering to a group that the less you say to us, probably the more of us gonna vote for you. You black, just go up there and be black. Show the hot sauce or something. Black people good, right? But you got a voter base over here. The Democrats have a white voter base too.
They do.
And that white voter base is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So more pandering towards that group. I'm thinking you're going to see less of the Democratic Party pandering to black people as a political strategy in the future, and more of them trying to get back the white working class and white middle class.
And that's who they used to pander to. Well, they still pander. They still pander to them a
Yeah,
lot. They
yeah,
still do.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
now
still
they're
do.
just as anti-union as the Republicans now.
Mm,
Right? They used to
mm.
be the working man's party, but they move all the way off center now, even more to the right. Even those who are progressive in the party, like Osio Cortez and all of them, nobody will stand next to them. Do you ever see Kamala standing next to the squad, the left wingers in the Democratic Party?
Mm-mm.
They didn't put them on the national stage hardly at all, right?
Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
so the people who control you are not aligned with the people who support you. So your messaging is going to always be on the fence. And that's just what it is. She couldn't commit to anything.
Yeah, she didn't commit
I
to
think that
anything.
hurt her. And I think that's what hurt them. And underestimating the intelligence of the black community hurt them as well.
Absolutely. Sister Rashamela says she did not do anything to address black issues. She only did the celebrity thing.
Right,
She said, I was waiting for her to talk with Dr. Claude Anderson. She said, I was looking forward to that discussion.
right,
And I wish she would have sat down, with Dr. Claude Anderson. I know he's in his 90s, but he's in his right mind. And
yeah,
he could have told her this is what our needs are. And she's
yeah,
right. She wasn't interested in black issues. The only thing she did, Baba, was trot, celebrities in front of us. That's
right,
that's all she did. And Baba, I have a serious issue with celebrities being involved in politics. I think that we all have lanes, and that we should stay in our lane. I just and I'm not saying that they don't have the right to
right,
to spew their ideas or beliefs regarding politics. But they were on stage reading speeches, and I was like, that's a little bit too much. Now, if you throwing
right,
out a tweet, or if you at a concert and you saying
right.
this who I'm rocking with or whatever, but I'm talking about showing up at conventions
Mm-hmm,
and being a part of political rallies.
right,
Now I'm like, yeah, you out of your lane.
right,
That's not
right,
really your lane. And so I took issue with I took issues with I'm sorry, celebrities pushing politics, talking about politics. If they ask your opinion, who you want Kamala, you want Donald, you don't want to vote, if that's their right. But being actually at conferences and conventions and rallies, speaking like a politic, come on now, Baba.
yeah.
It just
Well,
come on
yeah,
now, man.
and we got to realize too, in today's news cycle, like I wasn't at any other rally, so I don't know everybody that was on the roster. But when the sound bites get made for the news, they're gonna be Kamala the main thing, and then they're gonna put Cardi B's face up there. Now it could have been some more positive black people on the roster, but we didn't see that. That's not what the news is gonna cover. I think part of the reason why the celebrity pandering thing isn't as effective or looks a little bad today is, and black leadership got to understand this.
Mhm.
Regular black folk got platforms now, and we're having discussions. And there's an
That's true.
underground black media out here. And
That's
so
true.
and so you can't just put somebody we see on TV every Thursday up there on stage and say, "Oh, you Bill Cosby like her? I like her too." It doesn't
Right.
work like that anymore, because you putting somebody up there who we know all about her baby daddy and her baby mamas and all. It's not the same thing as it
No,
used to be
no.
years ago. So they're gonna have to pivot, right? I think if you're gonna use entertainers, go try to get you an actor, an actress, a political comedian to put up there. But if you're going straight to the hip hop, the gangster hip hop star, that doesn't appeal to our entire community like they think. That the messaging is off. There are people that they could have gone to get that would have been better representations that we would have said, okay, that person's we consider that person an artist, but also a thought leader. Maybe it is something to this, but they just didn't pick the right people.
They didn't, Bob. And I was having a conversation with my aunt and my mom. We went out for breakfast last Saturday. And I was saying the people, and because my aunt was saying that these people that she brought out there, like your Cardi B, your Glorilla, your Ratchet Red, and all of those folks, Meg the Stallion, she said their strategy was to go after their their following, right? Their
Yeah.
supporters. And a lot of them have millions of supporters. And I was like, yeah, I get that strategy. But those people, and another thing she was saying, she said because they would listen to them as opposed to listen to you or I, or you know what I mean? Like they don't even listen to news commentators, right? So
Right.
she was saying that if they say, well, go vote for Kamala, maybe that would mobilize them or galvanize them, push them to vote. But this is what I said to her. I said, yeah, I get the strategy, but that's a small element. Even though we're looking at it like, oh, she has 5 million or 10 million followers or 20 million. That's a really small element of people that they appeal to. You know, the vast majority of us are not listening to Meg the Stallion or Glorilla. They have a lot of young people, but even within the young people, it's a small element that
Right.
listen to them. Ma Holmes says she lost because she was solely. I'm sorry, I says solely, but I think they meant solely catering to girls and black people. She tried to make it a gender and race thing and not what will we do for the economy thing. I actually agree, Bob. I'm sorry. It
Right.
turned into like men versus women and
Right.
black versus white, and we're black. I actually agree with Ma
Yeah.
Holmes. I
And
agree
I
with
think
that
they also
perspective.
underestimated, let's say, like, especially with a lot of our hip hop stars, when you go and you see 5 million followers on Instagram or Twitter, those aren't 5 million fans of their music. A lot of people follow people on Twitter for the drama.
Right.
You see what
They
I'm
do.
saying? And so 1.5 million of that 5 million just on there for the drama, waiting on Meg to fall out with somebody, see if she lied about Tory Lanez. So they're not loyal Meg the Stallion fans who say, hey, if she does it, I do it. And so I think people are misguided about what social media following means. All of your followers are not your friends. A lot of people follow your account just to troll it. you
That
know
is true. That is
yeah,
true.
yeah, just a troll. So hence the backlash. I'm sure a lot of people who said, "What she got Meg Stallion up there for?" They follow Meg on social media.
That, that's true. That's
They
true.
yeah, they follow. I think I might follow because you'll follow somebody. Oh, that's cool. So let me follow on social media. So that doesn't mean that you're a loyal fan. So those numbers can be deceiving. Who they feel are going to be the influencers. But I'm just saying that to say they don't have a pulse on the black community.
They really don't. They
The
really
black
don't.
leadership, the bourgeoisie, don't have a pulse
On
on
the
the
black.
black community. That disconnect. I'm a grassroots organizing. You are too. You
I
know, we
say.
walk into rooms with black folk with positions, and they don't know what the hell going on with black people.
I have those conversations all the time. I say, oh my God, this person is so disconnected. They
Yeah,
don't, like you said, don't have a clue. Second
yeah,
Extra said, why is people so scared of Trump, but the same people never had this fear of Biden? He said, AKA Mr. 1994 crime bill. And Sister Donette says she didn't, and I agree. She did not differentiate herself from Biden. And she said that she couldn't articulate how she would present specific. Thank you. She didn't
yeah,
even critique
yeah.
what she didn't say. Well, if I was president, I wouldn't have done this. I would have done
Right,
this as
right.
president. She couldn't criticize him at all, and it hurt her. It
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
it
yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
hurt her, Baba.
Well, because how she got the nomination, she only got it because they said he was too old to continue. So now you don't want to look like you was laying in the cut waiting to grab it. And so now you have to be his friend and you have to give him his respect and his due. And at the same time, try to differentiate yourself, but you can't. Plus, you 3 years in as a part of the administration. So
Exactly.
how you gonna do that? And I mean, you supporting the wars in Gaza, you supporting. Come on, man.
And, and, and
It is what it is.
Baba, and I'm glad that you brought that up because when we say what hurt her, I meant to bring that up. That the fact that she could not, if she would have done a ceasefire, if she would have said, y'all, look, I'm gonna call for a ceasefire. What's going on in Gaza? It is genocide, and I'm siding with the people. When she lost the Muslim vote, and see, they underestimated that, man.
Uh-huh.
Them Palestinian Americans, they organized, they hit the streets, they led movements. You had the Not Biden movement, you had the uncommitted movement, and
Right.
they withheld their votes. And a lot of those Muslims were in swing states. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them reside in swing states. That also hurt her, not getting that Muslim vote, Baba.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if she
Yeah.
would have said, we're going to call a ceasefire, what's going on, a genocide, I'm going to encourage Joe Biden to pick up the telephone. She came out and said, it's a ceasefire right now. I think
Right.
the country probably would have erupted and people would have went out and voted for her. But she stood 10 toes down on that. She said, I'm rolling with Israel.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just what it is. And what happens when you disenfranchise, right? And one side that appeal to you is not listening to you, right? You want them to be unhappy too. So yeah, I ain't gonna have nothing anyway, but at least you ain't gonna have nothing either. Come on, sit on this couch with me.
Right.
And so a lot of people didn't vote. Some folks voted for Trump or whatever. And it is what it is, right? Get to work.
Absolutely.
What you gonna do the next day? Get to work. Get up, get to work. They still miseducating your children in school. You still got people not getting a living wage, a livable wage. This fight goes on every day. I noticed you told Dr. Abdullah that some people are saying we don't see you Black Power people until
Right. They said that. That's what
it's
they
time to vote.
said.
You know why
Yeah.
you don't see us? Because you're
Because
not
we
out here doing nothing.
come on, Baba. You ain't out here working.
Because you're not out here working. Real workers ain't viral. Who got time to go
Absolutely.
viral when you're actually building institutions in your community? Right? Of
Real,
course you don't
real
see
talk.
us. Of course you don't see us, and you don't hear us, and you don't see us until the folks that you trust start talking politics. Then you notice us because we're saying things that runs counter to your programming, and you get mad.
Absolutely.
But in between elections, we still out here working, and you're gonna go back to ignoring us again today.
Exactly. Today, Baba, you said today they gonna go back and look. Look, Sister Marcy,
After this broadcast,
after
right?
this broadcast, they got.
It's NBA season, NFL season at the same time.
You said
Come
it's
on,
over, Baba.
Christmas season, Santa Claus time.
You said it's over, Baba.
Yeah, Thanksgiving coming up. Ain't nobody what? All this important stuff coming up. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Come on, man. Y'all finna get mad because we finna start talking Kwanzaa. So y'all
Oh
finna
yeah,
be mad. We finna be getting on y'all nerves again.
absolutely, absolutely. Sister Marcia said what hurt her is she tried to ride the fence. I agree. Says she either need to fully commit to Jews and ride with them or side with Muslims and lose the Jewish vote. She didn't actually fully roll. She didn't actually fully roll with Israel. Yeah, she didn't. But she kept saying, I stand with them, I stand with them, I stand with them. And she made it clear. So they were like, all right, cool. So anyway, Baba, let's get to the now what. Now what? So Trump is in office. Now what? What do we need to do, Baba? What do we need to do? What are your thoughts on that? Now what?
I made a post yesterday where I said, last night, I said, everything y'all say we need to do if Trump wins is everything we say we need to do all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And now it's time to circle the wagons, because it's always time to circle the wagons around our culture, around our economic strategies, around our cultural strategies. Spiritually, we are in crisis inside of our community. Now it's time for us to start having some hard conversations with each other. Right? It's time to look at each other and say, do we want to be a Black community? And what does that mean? It's time to embrace our children and say, okay, what type of world are we building for our children? I was in a group today and Black educators saying, we're doomed. I didn't know how to talk to my students about this. And I'm like, well, if we're doomed based on what happened yesterday, then we don't have any power. Then we were doomed before yesterday.
Come on, teach.
We're not doomed. We're just not exercising the power that our ancestors truly fought for. They fought for more than the vote. We need to embrace who we are and whose we are again. That fight has to continue. I did another post the other day talking to the brothers and sisters that are street involved, because Lil Durk is locked up. Young Thug had the plea deal. All of them snitching over there, crying and saying, yes, sir, yes, man, I'm supposed to be gangsters. And I was like, y'all are weak because you're culturally weak. You can't be solid. Everybody talking about, I'm solid. You ain't solid. You don't know who you are. Who were you before slavery? What are you outside of an N-word? What's your bloodline? What's your legacy? What you standing on that's bigger than you? We have to stop thinking that a career and a paycheck is something to stand on. Nobody's solid when they whole identity is based on money. You're not solid if you need a Tesla truck to feel like you somebody. That's not solid. You're not solid if you can eat while everybody around you is hungry. That's not solid. We need to redefine and take our culture back. You're not solid if white-owned Viacom can own Black entertainment television and push all the negative images about Black people out that they can and say it's for the culture, and you don't do nothing about it. You're not solid. We need to get solid and stop being afraid of the sun. Stop being afraid to stand up. Those of us who are bold enough to say, no, you shouldn't have your panties on in public. We
Come
need to
on.
keep saying that.
Come on.
Those of us who are brave enough to say, no, we don't want to hear 3 songs where black men kill other black men on the way to school in the morning for the morning show. And then you're going to break into, yo, this Ricky Smiley, y'all, make sure y'all get out there and vote. And then next song come on. Apply that pressure to, then it's sex on the next song.
Come on, Baba.
That's not solid. We're not solid. And we need to understand that, and we need to get solid. And so that's what's next. It's time to redefine. They put Glow, and I love Glow, and I don't have anything against gangster rappers or none of that, because everybody has his place. I ain't got nothing against that, right? But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, why do national platforms feel like that's how to pander to black people? What are they saying about you? So it's time to take over the narrative. Support strong black platforms that produce positive images and powerful stories about black people. Put your money where your mouth is. When you got black kids in the hood, and you see one of them and he trying to rap positive and ain't nobody paying attention to him, buy him some new clothes, put him in the studio, organize a show for him, give him all the attention, give the positive young rappers all the attention and all the support they need. The other one's going to turn around, because out of the 10 that's talking negativity, only 3 of them really a negative person. The other 7 just little poets trying to get on.
That's right.
It ain't hard to do. Every studio should have every community, black community, should have a music studio in it and a room with some instruments that babies can play on. Everyone. Every church should be a school. Every last one of them. Every church should have an adult education program in there where adults can go in, get a high school diploma from the church, and get on a career path or a business path. Every last one of them. All y'all that go to these mega churches that leave the church in your hood, but you don't live in the hood, you just come on Sundays. Y'all need to come more than on Sunday. Buy up some of the dilapidated properties, bourgeoisie. Fix them up and create some affordable housing for people inside of our community. You can make a profit and help somebody else at the same time. This ain't nothing new, Ma'at. Dr. Ma'at, all these blueprints, this blueprint has already been out there, but it's the one that we keep ignoring, the one that we keep pretending is not in the room because we don't want to be uncomfortable. Black man, you are not Jackie Robinson. Black woman, you are not Jackie Robinson. You ain't the first Negro to do nothing. Stop thinking that it's the rest of us and not you. It's you too. People on social media talking about, oh, I can't stand y'all. Okay, black folks, see, now he in office. It's messed up for y'all. Well, guess what? If it's messed up for me, it's messed up
for you too. Right.
They're not going to look at you and say, oh, you one of the smart ones. We're not going to mess with you. Now, if it's coming for me, it's coming for you. Now, what you going to do?
Ashe. Hold on, Baba.
Fire!
So, family, you heard it. Baba just went all the way in, family. He gave you the now what. Baba, I can't even come behind that. You gave us the now what, and you went like this. You just dropped the mic, Baba. And so, family, he gave us the now what. Family, before you get out of here, I see people watching on his platform, on my platform. Thumb it up, thumb it up, thumb it up, thumb it up. If you're on mine, if you're on his, and then come on over to each of our platforms. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that whenever we go live, you will be notified. Baba, I can't let you go without talking about the Uhuru Academy, because people keep talking about, oh, they're getting ready to terminate the Department of Education. Donald Trump's getting ready to end the Department of Education. Schools are going to be over. We don't have any options. And I got online and I said, we have options, family. So, Baba, I have to have you talk about one of those options, the Uhuru Academy. Baba, you have the floor.
I say, family, rush over to uhuruacademy.com and a new website. The new website is coming soon, but let's talk about the Uhuru Academy, family. We have our K through 12 online program. Students enroll from all over the world. We're taking all the core subjects, but not just the core subjects, your math, your ELA, your social studies, your science, but we're also dealing with vision development in that program. Oh, man, it's so special. Our children learn and work on who they're going to become become from the time they enter our program. African history, they learn that in our program. In our program, they're learning entrepreneurship. In our program, they're learning multiple languages, right? And we have students from all over the world, including in Africa. And so they're all converging on this space. And our online program is completely interactive, nothing pre-recorded, the greatest online education experience for Black children in the world. UhuruAcademy.com. Go check it out. UA Online is enrolling, but their waiting list is about to pop up because the slots are filling up really fast, right? And shout out to our whole team and our parents. We also have Operation Reconnect Adult Education. If you're 16 and up and you stopped out of school, enroll in Operation Reconnect. Not only will help you earn your high school diploma from the Uhuru Academy, our adult accelerated high school diploma, but what's more important than that, y'all, is that you come through Operation Reconnect to get your success plan. What are you going to do with it once you get it? Where are your local colleges? How much does it cost? What career do you want to go into? Is it accessible? We can help you put that plan together from A to accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? So that's Operation Reconnect. Also, Uhuru University is coming soon. When a new site is up, we're going to have a platform, Dr. Ma'at, where the community can come in and begin to build courses right there in the Uhuru Academy online, right? That means you can sell your course, you can give your course away for free, you can take some courses. We're going to have some certification courses. People are going to be able to come to Uhuru University and get certified in networking, get certified in cybersecurity, the whole nine yards. So we're building Uhuru University right now, and that's going to be a powerhouse move within itself. And then we got Uhuru Academy Education Solutions. I will come show you how to do what we do. If y'all get a chance, definitely check out UASCinternational.org, right? We call this the model institution. Through our consultation, all right, and JGNAship, the beautiful Washington family in Columbia, South Carolina, built Uhuru Academy, South Carolina. Matter of fact, that picture right there are actually students at the UASC campus right here in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm not saying I'm a good consultant. All I'm saying is they just went into their 10th straight year.
Beautiful.
They just went into their 10th year. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So if I can do it for them, we can do it for you. All right. So from consultation, coaching, online program, adult education, that's the Uhuru Academy. And if you're going to be at NABC, the National Association of Black School Educators, at the conference this year in Atlanta, not only is the Uhuru Academy going to be in the house, Dr. Ma'at, we're having an exhibitors booth where we're going to show them UACI, and we're going to be presenting as well on integrating vision development in classrooms. So educators, come get at me.
Absolutely, Bob. And plug the UACI before you head on out.
Yes.
Gotta plug the UACI.
We ain't done. We ain't done, y'all. The best, the greatest, the most elite online STEM camp, which can be done in person too, by the way, but the most elite STEM camp for Black students in the world. Uhuru Academy, Conscious Ingenuity, talking about Black folks don't work together. We in year 3, all right? UACI STEM camp. We have our winter camp coming up. Go to UACISTEMcamp.com because slots are filling very fast, right? And get and sign your babies up for the STEM camp. Not only are they going to learn the African history in STEM, so you got to own it before you learn it. Then they're going to get hands-on experience learning coding. They're going to learn about artificial intelligence. They're learning about cybersecurity. They get microbit computers in the mail, and they learn how to program the microbit computers. And for students that are serious about STEM careers, we're plugging them into successful pipelines that'll take them all the way to PhDs in their field through the UACI STEM camp, particularly with our partnership with Morgan State University's Cybersecurity Assurance and Policy Center, the CAP Center. Shout out to Dr. Kevin Cornegay, and shout out to the whole team at STEM camp. We got some of the best young Black teachers on the planet working as well.
Absolutely, family. So make sure you enroll. Someone asked in the chat, when does it start? It starts on December the 23rd. It ends on December the 30th. We will make sure that the students are off on Christmas Day. They don't have to log in on Christmas Day. But from the 23rd through the 30th of December, students will be on with us at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to roughly about 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, family. And I
Come
dropped
work
the
with us,
links in the
family.
chat.
Come work with us.
Yeah,
Get
come work with
involved.
us.
Let's
I
go.
dropped all of the links in the chat, family. And if you didn't catch it, it's under the description of this video, including the the Uhuru Academy. So I make sure that all of these links are under the in the description of each of my videos, family. And last but not least, head on over to
Yes.
meltrek365.com. Baba, I saw you grab episode 1. I said,
Yes, I
uh-oh.
did.
Baba grabbed it. I was all pumped up. It came through. It was like, you gotta, Vimeo said, you gotta order from Baba. I was like, that's my Baba. That's my Baba. Always, always
Yes.
supporting and making
We're
sure that
talking
he
about ancient
exposed the
Africa in our
babies.
Black history class, so we had to go grab episode 1.
I love it, Baba. I love it. I love it. I love it, family. I love it. I love it so much. Family, head on over to meltrek365.com. Let me drop this link in the chat. Get your Meltrek films and your Meltrek books. Your Meltrek films and your Meltrek books. If you head on over to Meltrek 365 and you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, you can click on any one of these films and it will take you right here where you can download the films instantly. All right, family. So make sure you head on over there. Get your Meltrek films. Get your Meltrek books. Baba, I
Yes.
appreciate you as always, Baba, because you
Appreciate
taught
you.
all day. You taught all day
Yes.
and you hopped on. I text you last minute, like, Bob, if you up to it. But I appreciate it, Bob. I do appreciate you hopping on and
Appreciate
sharing
that.
your thoughts about this election. Because our people, man, are walking around. Some people are depressed. They feeling some type of way. Oh, Doc, are we doomed? It's over and all this other stuff. And just talking to you, like, man, we got to keep on fighting. You know, the
Right.
old folks say you got to keep on keeping on, man. You
Come
got
on.
to keep
Our
on keeping
ancestors
on.
did. We can too. Imagine waking up a slave today and you was a slave yesterday.
That's
and,
right.
and, you was born one. Think of our ancestors who were born enslaved and transitioned enslaved, but didn't quit and
Didn't
told
quit.
their children after them, don't quit because one day you're going to be free. At least you're not working from that deficit.
That's
Right.
right.
So
That's
whatever deficit you all feel like we're working from, it's not a lot. We've done work. Come on, man. It's nothing compared to what we are prepared for. This success, the victory is built in our DNA, y'all. Freedom is a process, not an event. We still in the process.
that's right. So with that said, family, peace and black excellence.